Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Sunday evening. I am Glenn Rashipura.
And I am Esther Kamati.
Bringing you news, community stories, weather, economic news, and much more on this Sunday evening. Getting into the news, a Namibian diplomat whose ex-wife allegedly killed their 2 children in cold blood in Ethiopia almost 3 years ago said he is afraid she's after his life too. So dire is the situation that Peter Haufiku recently approached the court seeking a protection order. His case was heard on Friday in the Ondangwa Magistrates Court in a private hearing attended by his ex-wife Christophina Amutenya. The decision made by the court on the matter cannot be reported on due to court rules prohibiting revealing details of some of domestic violence cases. Haufiku, a commercial attaché at the Namibian embassy in Ethiopia, spoke to Namibian Sun outside the court shortly after the hearing in the company of his lawyer Anthony Shapumba of Shapumba and Associates. He said the reason why he approached the court was for a restraining order to keep his ex-wife away from his 3 properties, the house in Windhoek in the north and one in Ethiopia, alleging that he has received 2 murder attempts and he is suspecting she is behind these attempts. Whoa, this story is so deep and very, very sad, and also because we don't know what exactly happened. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's quite scary for him knowing that somebody who in cold blood murdered his children might be after him. So he said that he survived 2 attempted murders, one in Ethiopia where somebody shot a bullet through his roof, which missed him just by centimeters, and then a time where he was allegedly driving and then somebody shot at his back tires. So it is quite scary. I hope that he does get a restraining order.
I do hope so. I also wonder, because the case was provisionally withdrawn, and she was first arrested, and then it was withdrawn. So there's so many, you know, missing, question marks, not even so many question marks in the investigation and what happened. Yeah. And we're still waiting on the you know, the completed police report and investigation. And maybe she will be arrested again, or maybe not. We don't know exactly what happened. It's all alleged right now. Yeah. But it's a very interesting story in terms of we actually don't understand what happened. I know one child survived, and he's the one who came forth, or she, saying that the mother or the stepmother wanted to kill all 3 of them.
And it's interesting as well to see some of the demands that are being made in the case. Recently we heard that she was demanding that half of his property be transferred to her name and so forth, even though they were already divorced. So it's just interesting to see how it unfolds.
Yeah. Now moving on, NamWater confirmed on Friday that the 2 pumps that pump water from the old Berg Okas mine into the water channel are broken. Farmers along the canal have had no water for more than a week now because the canal is dry. Other farmers have a borehole, but many farmers are completely dependent on canal water and now have to bring their water for their animals and workers every day from Grootfontein. Andreas Koch from NamWater confirmed that both pumps are out of order and that they are currently addressing issues with their repair. Hopefully, this will be addressed swiftly. What measures do you think can be taken here to ensure sufficient water supply?
I think the fact that there was only this one source of water is definitely a red flag, and it's something that definitely should be addressed, because as a farmer, water is very essential for your operations, and the fact that you now have to worry about transport to go all the way to Grootfontein to bring water for your cattle and so forth. Hopefully they'll be able to drill more boreholes for the community, and not just for specific or select farmers who are able to drill them on their own, but for community use as well.
I think so too. Water is very important, and also since Namibia is trying to move into becoming more self-reliant and sufficient in terms of producing food, this is, you know, a matter of urgency.
Of course.
Now, moving on, a 52-year-old man was arrested for allegedly stabbing his brother to death for failing to offer him a lift at Otilindi location, Ononga Oshikabe village, Onipa constituency in Oshikoto region. Oshikoto Police Regional Commander Commissioner Teopoline Kalombo Nashikaku said the incident happened on Thursday at about 8:20 p.m. Kalombo Nashikaku said it is alleged that at about 5 p.m. the suspect and the victim were at Onyeti location, where the suspect started confronting the deceased about why he failed to offer him transport. The deceased then left to another location of Otilindi. The suspect then followed the deceased to Otilindi's location, where he came to stab the victim once with a knife in the chest on the left side, she said. Kalompe Nashikaku said the deceased was then rushed to Onanjokwe Hospital for treatment, but he died before he reached the hospital. The victim is the biological brother to the suspect. This is rather sad developments indeed, and this is over transport.
And it's strange because they're biological siblings and they stay together. So I just wonder what transpired, because this can't be simply because of transport.
Maybe there was like a wedge or something between them, and
perhaps
maybe the transport.
No, hopefully the police investigations.
Yes, I actually
something.
would want to know what the police investigation says about this, because it's very interesting to think that somebody would kill someone over transport, and it's a biological sibling.
Exactly. So I don't know if it's anger management issues at play. But hopefully,
a lot of people have said that some people, especially in less developed communities or rural areas, they don't know how to manage anger and emotions. That's why there's a lot of drinking. So sometimes, I'm not saying that this is the case, but sometimes something as simple as, you didn't give me water or whatever can result in really, really drastic drastic measures like what happened here. Now, in our next story, the Windhoek municipality has just announced success with the drilling of the first of a series of boreholes to ensure water supply for Groot-Oop. Spokesperson Lydia Amutenya says 7 more are planned. Let's take a look. Now, it's one small step for Windhoek municipality, one big step for Groot-Oop, don't you think?
I do think so, because Groot-Oop residents are always complaining about service delivery because they always feel left out. All the focus in the commerce region
they never feel like they're part of
Windhoek.
Yeah,
so they never feel included. And this is, of course, a very essential resource. I mean, everybody needs water to survive. So hopefully the city of Windhoek can only go up from there.
Now, coming up, Midco has announced it is resuming its program for the purchase of cattle from farmers in the northern communal areas. More after the break.
We are all seeking connection to each other, to the world, to the spaces we exist in.
Sportsmanship right now from the lads.
You might be physically ready, your body is ready, but mentally.
Here's another chance, and it is a goal from Windhoek.
Sy sê wie is er aan neergetrek en daai bal het my grond gevat. Ja, hy het grond gevat en is
but just enough next.
Shh. Running that mountain up. Okay, so we will be doing this for the mountain climber. More advanced, slightly advanced.
So is jou trolley reg, want
I love it. I love it. So then
kickstart our countdown at number 5 with this one.
Op Netwerk TV se Klets Kompas gesels ons nuus van 'n Maandag tot Donderdag. Ons kyk ook na die weer en meer. Stories wat jou raak en stories wat saak maak.
They've made a mistake in denying me bail, and they've made several other mistakes in many other cases.
The channels that teach us something new or reflect our expression. So it goes beyond switching to the right station. It's about choosing the experience that can adorn the present, dressing it with our tastes as we expand our preferences, because what we are actually connecting to is boundless, limitless human energy. And this is the spirit of NTV.
Getting into our economic news, Midco has announced it is resuming its program for the purchase of cattle from farmers in the northern communal areas, which includes the regions of Ohangwena, Oshikoto, Oshana, Omusati, and Kunene. This program will continue throughout 2024. Midco urges all farmers who are willing to sell their cattle to take advantage of this opportunity. The procedure for selling cattle is as follows. Farmers either have as an individual or as an organized group must register at the Midco office to complete a booking and submit an ear tag list for EC verification on the NAM list system by the Directorate of Veterinary Services in the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform. Cattle must have a visible livestock brand and ear tag, and the livestock and livestock products board producer number must also be provided. Before loading the livestock, farmers must apply for a movement permit, and only listed or pre-selected cattle can be loaded. And if a farmer wants to deliver cattle on their own with a trailer or truck, the trailer or truck must be cleaned and washed at the farmer's own expense and disinfected at Midco Rundu's Export Abattoir. Now, this is definitely a step in the right direction. I know there's a lot of debate about, doing away with the red line. Some people are for it, some people are against it, and the people in the north are saying that they don't have access to the market that the rest of Namibia has. So I would say this is very, very a good step in the right direction for at least the people there that can make some money from their cattle.
Yeah, certainly it expands the horizons of northern farmers as well, because they have access to the market, as you rightfully said just now. And I think it's also one way of Midco showing us that it can be done for livestock from northern Namibia as well to enter and come to play in terms of local supply
as well. And maybe this can, do away with that stigma, because people are afraid that there's diseases and etc. Exactly, and that will, come pollute the rest of the livestock, but these are just all stigmas, and we don't know if this is really true. So, but I would say this is really a step in the right direction, and it's good that people in the north now can, at least in January, beginning of the year, they know that there's a source of income coming their way.
Exactly.
Up next is our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.71, against the euro at 20.40, against the US dollar at 18.63. 2 Namibian dollars and 60 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, only gold went up while platinum, copper and Brent crude oil went down. Brent crude oil trading at 0.17%, going for $78 and 26 cents per barrel. After the break, we get into our international news. Do stay with Sunset News.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Let's get into our international news. A volcano erupted in southwest Iceland on Sunday, posing an immediate threat to a nearby small fishing town, although it had been evacuated earlier and no people were in danger, authorities said. Early morning video footage from the site showed fountains of molten rocks spewing from fissures in the ground, the bright orange lava flow glowing against the dark sky. No lives are in danger, although infrastructure may be under threat, Iceland's President Guðni Johannesson said on social media site X, adding there had been no interruptions to flights. The eruption began early on Sunday north of the town of Grindavik, which the previous day had been evacuated for the second time in a month over fears that an outbreak was imminent amid a swarm of seismic activity, authorities said. Authorities have been building barriers of earth and rock in recent weeks to try to prevent lava from reaching Grindavik, some 40 kilometers southwest of the capital, Reykjavik. But the latest eruption appeared to have penetrated the town's defenses. I would say swift action there by the Icelandic government. What do you think?
Definitely swift action. I think especially in this day and age where climate change is a big issue, we always need to be ready, and funds need to be allocated in order for disaster risk to be prioritized. So the fact that they evacuated the residents already weeks in advance shows that they were definitely prepared for this disaster, and it's necessary and quite commendable.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, climate change is affecting, I think, everyone in the world in one form or another, and the fact that some of these states that are prone to things like natural disasters
especially
have things
in Iceland,
in place. Yes.
I read that this is the 5th eruption since 2021 in the same area.
Wow. I wonder what that's like, hey? I think because I've never lived in a place that's prone to natural disasters. So I wonder what that's like. Yes, I wonder what that's like. Now getting into our next story, the Chinese embassy in Japan earlier today stated that it resolutely opposed Japanese Foreign Minister Yoko Kamikawa's statement congratulating Taiwan's new president-elect Lai Ching-te. In a statement published on the Japanese Foreign Ministry's website on Saturday after the result of the Taiwan presidential election were announced, Kamikawa congratulated Lai on his victory, calling the self-ruled island claimed by Beijing an extremely crucial partner and an important friend. In response, the Chinese embassy in Japan, without mentioning Lai or acknowledging his victory, it described Kamikawa's comments as a serious interference in China's internal affairs, according to a statement published on Sunday on the embassy's official WeChat account. We express strong dissatisfaction and resolute opposition to these and have lodged solemn representations with the Japanese side, the embassy said. Japan, like most countries, does not have official diplomatic relations with Taiwan, a precondition for establishing diplomatic ties with China. But Japan's alliance with the United States of Taiwan's most important backer, Japan's alliance with the United States, Taiwan's most important backer, and its proximity to the island, along with recent tensions in its ties with China, have prompted Tokyo to pursue closer ties with Taipei. This has been an issue. I mean, this is obviously good news for Taiwan, but the fact that there's still tensions, it's a bit concerning.
All I can say is that the incoming president has big shoes to fill.
He has big shoes to fill. After the break, we get into our weather predictions. To stay with Sunset News.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
A lot of people in Windhoek have been complaining about the heat. So let's see if we're going to be experiencing some showers. We'll be right back with the weather predictions. To stay with Sunset News.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
We apologize for the technical difficulties experienced earlier. Let's dive into our weather predictions. Katima Mulilo can expect some showers with a minimum of 20 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius. Windhoek can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 23 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 35 degrees Celsius. Henties Bay can also expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 18 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 20 degrees Celsius. Riopoort can expect a minimum of 24 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius. After the break, we'll be getting into your sports news.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
Getting into our sports news, Goodwill Carl, president of the Namibia Chess Federation, gives us an overview of the Bank Windhoek 2024 Namibia National Chess Championship qualifiers, which concluded today. Let's take a look.
We just completed round number 6 at the Namibia National Chess Championships qualifier, proudly sponsored by Bank Windhoek Namibia. And we are excited. We have a huge number of turnouts, as well as the youngsters trying to take on the senior teams as well, because this is an open qualifier, and we have seen some fireworks in both sections, in the open as well as the women's section that we have here today. We have a total about 80 participants, and in total we are about more than 100, including the viewers as well. So we are looking forward to see what happens as we continue. With the final round tomorrow, currently yours truly, the president, is leading, but it's too soon to tell. Many are catching up. The top 5 qualifies to play the national close, which will then select the national team for 2024.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Now, the Confederation of African Tennis International Tennis Federation Southern Africa Junior Teams Championships finals took place earlier today in Windhoek at the Central Tennis Courts in Olympia. South Africa was crowned the best overall team, with Zimbabwe coming in second and Botswana placing third. In our next story, the host Ivory Coast got off to a flying start as they beat Guinea-Bissau 2-0 to secure the first 3 points of the 2023 African Cup of Nations tournament on Saturday. Brave Warriors are yet to play their first AFCON game, going head-to-head with Tunisia on Tuesday. But today, we saw Victor Osimhen in action as Nigeria took on Equatorial Guinea, and Liverpool player Mohamed Salah is also in action today as his team Egypt takes on Mozambique, while Athletic Club Bilbao player Inaki Williams will come through for Ghana in their attempt to upset Cape Verde later tonight. Be sure to leave your predictions in the comments in the spirit of AFCON. What are your predictions?
I do not have any predictions. I am just waiting for the Brave Warriors game on Tuesday. But until then, I'm enjoying the soccer action.
Me too.
I can't predict, but I'm enjoying the action.
I'm having my fingers crossed like this because I really, want the Brave Warriors to win, especially their first match, because that kind of ushers them into the tournament.
Yeah.
So I really, really want them to win. So fingers are crossed for Tuesday.
It's a great time for football on the continent.
It is a great time. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. But before we go, Sunset News has been nominated for a Viewer's Choice Award in the category Best News Show. You can show your support by voting. All you have to do is send a WhatsApp to 085 7856 231 with the hashtag NTV Awards 2023 and follow the prompt given by the Synergy chatbot and vote for Sunset News in the news shows category. Are you going to be voting for Sunset News, or you are not going to tell?
As a matter of fact, I already did.
You already did, and I hope the rest of the viewers already have, or if you have not, please get on and vote for Sunset News. I know what I'm voting for. I'm not supposed to have a favorite show, but I think I know what I'm voting for.
I think we can all tell.
From me, Glenda Shipra and Esther Kamati, until next time.